I
Mm.
think about prioritization as when. When am I going to do the thing?
And that kind of flows into the next question, which is I was going to actually ask you, do you have some kind of like priority system that you recommend people use when it comes to time management?
Yeah, so let me talk a little bit about task management and then I'll talk about how prioritization comes into that. So I think, the secondary big issue is that we're storing all this stuff in our brains, right?
Mhm.
So instead of having an external task system or a task app or just something that we're using to get it all out of our head, we're trying to remember everything, which is really stressful and it doesn't work very well. So I think the first step to prioritizing is actually to get all the stuff out of our brain. And if you're someone who is sitting there and you're like, I've got a notebook on my desk and I'm also using Asana and my email is full of to-dos and Slack is full of to-dos and we just have like all the systems everywhere. Think about consolidating, using those things as funnels into a single place. I have reviewed probably 50 different task apps and my absolute favorite is called TickTick, Tick, not to be confused with TikTok. I mean, any other app you're using will probably work as well, but I like this one because it's free. So there's a low barrier for entry. It's super easy to use and it syncs across all of your devices. So it doesn't matter if, you've got a Mac computer and an Android phone and Google Alexa and, Amazon Alexa and Google Home and like all of these things. It's just going to sync everywhere. Makes it really easy to use to get stuff out of our brain. But then you asked the question about prioritization. And so I really think with prioritization, I think about it very differently than a lot of people. A lot of people hear prioritization and think high, medium, low, or P1, P2, P3, right? And I think about prioritization as when. When am I going to do the thing? When is the next step? So I think about it as due date, like DO date, instead of due date, DUE date. Like what is the next action and when does it actually fit into the calendar? Because once you realize that, hey, you may want to work 8 hours today, but you have 3 hours worth of meetings and also you need to have lunch and go to the bathroom and like do, other things. You might only have like 3 solid hours of work time left. And you really need to think about what is the most impactful thing that's going to go into that time so that we can prioritize by the time we have. I like to think of it as like we want to plan for the time we actually have, not the time we wish we had.